My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Emily the Criminal. And this is a movie about a woman named Emily who becomes a criminal. And I've heard great things about this movie, and after watching it, it's fine, maybe. It's not a terrible movie, but it ain't anything memorable. I feel like it's one of those movies that people saw and they're like, oh, it has a beginning, middle, and end, and it has characters, and therefore it is great. But I watched it less than 24 hours ago, and I'm already starting to forget it. It has zero staying power at all. And I know I'm not the only one because so many people who did say they loved it don't even talk about it at all anymore. It's just been completely forgotten. And look, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's directed by John Patton Ford, and I think he does a perfectly fine job. It's well shot, it's well edited. It does a fine enough job of doing what it sets out to do, which is to tell this story about this woman who just desperately needs money. She's behind in her student loans, and she's just struggling job-wise, and she gets illegal opportunities to make more money than she was making, and she just gets caught up in this world. And you buy the progression of this character, it sells you on it. And yeah, like that's all I really have to say about it. I'm not going to say the character is so well written and so fully fleshed out. I'm not going to say it has any bit of emotion. I'm not going to say it's thrilling or tense. It's just a movie that tried to tell a story and does it fine enough. You know, Aubrey Plaza stars in this movie, and I'm a huge fan of her as an actress, and I think she does a good job here. But I will also say I don't think her performance is as good as people have said. It's typically when comedic actors or actresses have more dramatic roles, I think people exaggerate just how good they are in those roles. And that's the case here. Like, don't get me wrong, Aubrey Plaza does a good job in this movie, but I think her best performances are in Parks and Recreation and Ingrid Goes West. And, oh my goodness, I know I'm drawing a blank on one. Hold on 1 second. Safety Not Guaranteed and Black Bear. That is actually a very great underrated movie. Like, so those are my favorite performances of hers, and I think they play up to her strengths. And this is a much more understated performance, and a good one at that, but I just feel like it doesn't cater to her strengths as an actress. Then you've got Theo Wolsey, who does a fine job, considering he has almost nothing to work with. And that's all I really have to say on this movie. Like, I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm not going to say it's a terrible movie, but I will say it's pretty forgettable. I watched it and I'm like, okay, those are some decent performances. It's well made enough, and it does a well enough job at doing what it's set out to do, of telling this woman going to crime and getting you to relate to her. But there's just nothing great about this movie. There's nothing about this movie that has any sort of impact. You watch it, you go like, that was fine. And you go about your life, and in 10 years from now, you're going to hear someone talking about this movie, and you're going to be like, that sounds familiar. I think I've seen that. So, this kind of movie is kind of difficult to rate. Do I recommend it? It's difficult. I gotta make up my mind very shortly. So, I'm going to go ahead and give Emily the Criminal a 5 out of 10, but not with a recommendation. I typically don't do that. Typically when I say 5 out of 10, I say slight recommendation, but this time I said no recommendation. But did you see Emily the Criminal? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.